What interview is out there that you still are searching for? Who's the person that you haven't gotten yet that you want to sit down and across from you?
Well, this is maybe a generational thing. All of us would love to see an interview, a truly in-depth and candid interview with Sandy Koufax. But I totally respect and even admire Sandy's stance. He's a private person by nature. He's a humble person by nature. And he also has what very few, even the greatest of the great, very few have this. There's just no disputing his place in history and in the public imagination. He didn't have to win 300 games. He was done at 30 because of his arthritic elbow, won less than 200 games, but was so great and so elegant in such a short period of time. What is there for him to defend or explain? He's probably better off, not just because of his reticence and honest shyness, but he's probably better off not even attempting to gild the lily or go back down memory lane. Every recollection of him from every direction is 100% well-earned, justified admiration. So what can he do to advance that any further? And every time I cross paths with Sandy, he is extremely gracious. And the last time I asked him for an interview was probably, 15 years or so ago, and he never used an intermediary. He always called me back, and the conversation went something like this, Suzy: if I ever do it, I'll do it with you. And then I began to realize I'm at the front of a line that never moves. So having that designation as the person first in line is pretty much meaningless.
Yeah, that's a one-way ticket to no.
Yeah. Although, obviously he's sort of like, in the literary world, everyone wanted the interview with J.D. Salinger.
Right.
Or with Harper Lee, because they were so reclusive. For a long time, he's kind of out of the public eye now. Think about this, Suzy. You always saw Jack Nicholson at Laker games, but Jack Nicholson never did a television interview. He wouldn't even go on with Johnny Carson when everyone was flocking to Johnny in the last month, wouldn't even go on with Johnny Carson. And his explanation in the 90s was, look, I'm a movie star. You go to the movies, they turn the lights down, it's a big screen. That's different than being on your little home screen and people are puttering around. I don't want to diminish that mystique. And you have to give that to him, which leads to this story. Do you have a minute for it?
I always have a minute for you, Bob.
Why, thank you, Suzy. So, 1992 NBA Finals, the Bulls and the Trailblazers. So it's one of the games in Chicago. And Nicholson is in Chicago filming Hoffa. So he's a huge basketball fan. Not surprising he can get good seats. Not at center court like in L.A., but underneath one of the baskets along the baseline. And somebody from NBC spots him. And the producer says, Bob, do you know Jack Nicholson? I said, well, yeah, we're kind of friendly acquaintances. He's down there. Go ask him if he'll come on with you at halftime. Now, I'm way up in the rafters in the old Chicago Stadium. I'm like, guys, this is a fool's errand. He's not going to do it. You owe it to us. Go ask him. Okay, it's like 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. I go winding down the ramp, and I wait until a timeout. And I come up behind him, and I tap him on his right shoulder. And his head turns, and I swear it reminded me of that scene in The Shining.
I know that look. I know it. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so not there, and then his face softens, and I wish I could do a good Nicholson impression. He goes, oh, hi, Bob. And I say, Jack, just play along. They're watching. I'm supposed to ask you if you'll come on at halftime. And he says verbatim, although I have to edit out one word, verbatim, Bobby, you're a nice kid. You do good work. How can I put this? No effing way. To which I say, Jack, I take that as a firm no. Enjoy the rest of the game. And now I got to haul ass all the way back upstairs. I barely get there before the buzzer to end the second quarter. Fool's errand indeed.
When I was a kid working at HBO Sports for Real Sports with Brian Gumbel and Ross and the whole like, I was doing a profile on Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. I was there with James Brown. I saw Jack Nicholson. I said, JB, I'm going to get an interview for the Kobe piece. It'll be great. He said, Suzy, I will buy you whatever classic convertible you want if you can get that interview. I was like 20-something. I had hubris. I'm like, JB, watch this. Ask Ross. I was a good booker back then. I tap him on the shoulder, so I know that look. He swivels. I see the shining look. Mr. Nicholson, I'm Suzy Shuster. I'm a producer with HBO Sports. JB just told me he'll buy me whatever classic car I want if I can get you to do the interview. He says, kid. And I can't do it either. I stink. You seem like a really nice kid, and you look really cute behind the wheel of a car. But if I do it for you, I got to do it for everybody else. And I said, oh, come on, please. I don't want to hear the word no. So, yeah, I get that look. I've had that look. It's not a good look.
But you know what? It leads to a good story decades later.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.